Welcome to our strategic review of Ford Motor Company.
All right, so before we jump into everything, I just want to start by giving a little bit of background information on Ford. Ford, as many of us already know, is one of the first car companies around and was founded in 1903 by Henry Ford himself. They have a rich history of leadership foundation in the automotive industry, and it can easily be said by the longevity that has played out. With that, they've played a significant role in shaping the way we travel, has been a symbol of American manufacturing ingenuity throughout the years, and is just over the years, Ford has been recognized for its commitment to its quality, reliability, and customer satisfaction. They've also built a strong reputation for producing vehicles that meet pretty much the needs for every kind of consumer out there. For instance, they offer a wide range of vehicles for cars, sedans, electric vehicles now, as well as commercial vehicles, large trucking, and so on and so forth. And with that, what sets Ford apart is its continuous focus and innovation within the industry. They're consistently pushing the boundaries of the automotive technology, introducing groundbreaking features, whether it be advancements in safety, performance, fuel efficiency, and again, especially now moving into the EV sector, they plan on continuing that trend. In recent years, they have struggled with the competition, and we're going to get more into that later. But moreover, Ford values its customers, strives to provide exceptional experiences, and invests in their customer-centric services. Today, Ford remains at the forefront of the industry, embracing all these new technologies, and they continue to shape the future of where they are going. Let's now dive into the SWOT analysis for Ford. Starting with the strengths, the first item to note is Ford's long-standing heritage and strong brand recognition. Another strength lies in Ford's global and diverse product portfolio, which is mentioned before. They have a wide range of vehicles across the different segments. This allows them to use their experienced workforce to cater to the variety of customers that they're used to seeing. Moving on to their weaknesses, the main area of concern for Ford is its heavy reliance on the North American market. Any significant fluctuations in the regional economy or maybe changes in consumer preferences could really impact Ford's profitability. Moving to opportunities, the most obvious item is that the EV market and how that demand has just spiked over the last few years. By leveraging their current expertise and brand recognition, Ford has itself in the position to be a leader in the electric vehicle market with its truck and SUV lineups. Furthermore, Ford has the opportunity to explore strategic partnerships and collaborations to drive innovation and accelerate its technological advancements. Collaborations with these partners can help Ford stay ahead of the curve in areas such as autonomous driving and connected vehicles. Addressing the threats, we all know that the automotive industry is highly competitive with rapid technological advancements and changing consumer preferences. Ford faces intense competition from both traditional automakers and new entrants, which can pose a threat to its market share. Additionally, some economic factors such as fluctuations in fuel prices, trade wars, or changes in government regulations can severely impact the demand for vehicles or pose additional challenges to Ford's. In conclusion, while Ford has notable strengths such as its brand recognition, diverse product portfolio, and commitment to its sustainability, it still faces many challenges with market reliance, cost management, and etc. By capitalizing on the up-and-coming opportunities and by continuing its strategic collaborations, it can definitely position itself for continued success.
To fully analyze the general external environment for Ford Motor Company, we utilize the PESTLE framework, which examines the political, economic, sociocultural, technological, environmental, and legal factors impacting Ford's ability to sustainably grow their business. Political winds are shifting as states begin to implement legislation limiting the sale of gas-powered vehicles. This comes as sociocultural pressures shift public opinion on electric vehicles, as emissions and green energy have become more of a cultural topic. And technological forces around innovation have made EVs more practical for mass production. This electrification trend also plays into the environmental and technology elements of PESTLE framework, driving the broader industry to invest in those technologies they aim to meet emerging consumer demand and ESG goals with their stakeholders. Ford's performance is heavily influenced by economic factors that shape the business environment in which it operates. Specifically, interest rates have a direct impact on consumer borrowing costs and affordability. As rates continue to climb, Ford may see a reduction in demand for its products. Additionally, rising inflation reduces consumer purchasing power, making automobiles and other goods more expensive. Inflation also raises the internal costs of Ford's manufacturing, reducing their potential contribution margin. Legal, the final aspect of PESTLE, broadly impacts the automotive manufacturing industry with strong legal standards to adhere to. Additionally, Ford and its competitors seek to create entrenched strengths through the development of intellectual property rights as a lever for differentiation and growth.
We used Porter's 5 forces to analyze the industry environment. Porter's 5 forces are the bargaining power of buyers, the bargaining power of suppliers, the threat of new entrants, the threat of substitute products, and inter-firm rivalry. These forces give us a picture of the threats and opportunities in our industry. The automotive industry is full of a very few, very mature manufacturers. They own almost every brand, giving them significant power over both buyers and suppliers. Because of the extremely high barriers to entry, the threat of new entrants is also quite low. However, the threat of substitute products has been growing as alternative transportation methods have become more common and accessible. While the majority of these forces show us opportunities in the automotive industry, the intense inter-firm rivalry creates significant threats. The major automakers have been competing intensely in the US market for over 100 years, all jockeying for market share in the $1.5 billion industry.
And now we're going to look at the competitive analysis for Ford and its top 3 competitors, General Motors, Toyota, and Stellantis. This is a 3-year financial performance metric chart showing that Ford over the last 3 and 5 years had the largest percent return. Now we're going to look at Ford's competitive strategy, focusing on streamlining internal procedures in the form of cost leadership, allowing them to sell affordable vehicles. They also focused on diversification through their automotive, mobility, and Ford Credit segments. Ford has a handful of weaknesses it likes to mitigate going forward through product recalls, the Takata airbag, or the Lincoln faulty door handle, and they rely too heavily on the United States market. General Motors is the first competitor that we're going to look at. They focus on cost leadership, offer higher quality products at a lower price than luxury manufacturers. They accomplish this through automation and continuous improvement. They also focus on diversification with the objective to attract people with their attractive products through features, brand imaging, and quality. Next, we're going to look at Toyota Motors' competitive strategy. They heavily focus on minimizing costs in operations, utilizing the just-in-time manufacturing method, which helps them minimize waste, inventory cost, and response time. Lastly, we're going to look at Stellantis. Stellantis' general strategy is based off the industry diversity. They're committed to shape the future with strong environmental performance and safety, with targets to slash carbon emissions in half while releasing a huge line of fully electronic vehicles. They also focus on cost leadership with a line of commercial vehicles that have a lower production cost, resulting in higher profit margins. This is the final analysis for Ford, and we are looking at the problem identification. Starting with Ford Motor Credit, they are a financial service subsidiary of the Ford Motor Company who support customers and dealerships with the finances of Ford and Lincoln vehicles. There is opportunities through moving the financial transactions, so the interest and loans, into the company versus using a bank. There are many risks with the Ford Credit Financial, with fluctuating markets, customers defaulting on loans, and ultimately Ford absorbing the debt if they are never paid off. The second problem we identified is market share decline. Looking at the charts, you can see that over 2017 to 2018, all of the competitive car manufacturers are losing market share to new companies entering the market. The last problem we identified is the internal procedures. The shift to electronic vehicles production represents a major problem for Ford. Ford's focus on cost leadership cannot be utilized in this situation because there's new manufacturing procedures that have to be redesigned and new suppliers that are charging higher prices for things like batteries and new raw materials.
And now we'll be discussing Ford's balanced scorecard, which is a strategic performance management framework that allows us to evaluate the company's performance across multiple perspectives. Starting with the financial perspective, Ford aims to achieve financial sustainability and profitability. Key financial metrics that could include revenue growth, profitability ratios, and return on investment. By monitoring these metrics, Ford can assess its financial health and make informed decisions to drive long-term success. Moving on to the customer perspective, Ford strives to deliver exceptional value and customer satisfaction. Metrics in this perspective would include customer satisfaction ratings, repeat purchase behavior, and market share. By tracking these metrics, Ford can gain insights into customer preferences and ensure its products and services meet and exceed customer expectations. Focusing on the internal process perspective, Ford aims to continuously improve its operational efficiency and effectiveness. Metrics in this area could include the production cycle time, defect rates, innovation metrics, among many others. By optimizing these processes, Ford can enhance productivity, reduce costs, and foster a culture of innovation. The next perspective to look at is the learning and growth. Ford recognizes the importance of investing in its employers' skills, capabilities, and development. Metrics in this perspective could include employee satisfaction, training hours, and employee turnover rates. By nurturing a highly skilled and engaged workforce, Ford can drive innovation, enhance productivity, and maintain a competitive edge. In summary, Ford's balanced scorecard provides a comprehensive view of the company's performance across the financial, customer, internal process, and learning growth. By setting targets and monitoring these key metrics and aligning initiatives with their perspectives, Ford can drive performance improvement and create value for its stakeholders.
Our first recommendation is to expand market reach. Understanding customer needs is the key to expanding this reach. The auto industry is already highly segmented with hundreds of different vehicle models available for every type of customer. With this level of segmentation, there are two paths to expand market reach: reaching new markets or more effectively reaching existing markets. The first path requires testing new markets, the most obvious being new geographic markets that might not be as saturated or as well served as the US market. Ford is well positioned with manufacturing and sales capabilities across the globe, but they've never aggressively pursued overseas markets. The second path is to better reach existing markets. This can be achieved through targeted advertising campaigns, utilizing SEO tools and geolocation tools in order to maximize every advertising dollar spent. Digital marketing allows for segmented advertising campaigns to be presented precisely to the correct customers rather than blanket campaigns being pushed to as many customers as possible. By reaching the right customers, not just the most customers, Ford can differentiate themselves in a saturated market. The major challenge to targeted segments is how to define those segments. Most digital advertising campaigns are pushed based on demographic and geographic information. These are very imperfect ways of defining a segment. The only way to be truly effective in these kinds of targeted campaigns is to do the research to understand your customers. Only once customer needs are properly defined and understood can demographics be effectively used to push digital campaigns.
Our second recommendation is to focus on enhancing the customer experience. Improving the overall customer experience is important for increasing brand loyalty and market share. Ford should prioritize providing excellent customer service, personalized interactions, and seamless post-purchase support. Investing in customer relationship management systems, training customer-facing employees, and implementing feedback mechanisms can all continuously monitor and improve customer satisfaction. To appropriately implement this recommendation, a few changes to the current state are needed. Ford should take stronger control over their customer experience to eliminate inconsistencies in that experience delivery. One function that should be included in this is a customer success function who is responsible for working with the customer post-sale to ensure that customer has a positive experience with their new purchase and utilizes it to its fullest extent. With a successful customer success organization embedded within a dealership, Ford and their distribution network should see higher customer satisfaction and increased attachment for additional services. Customers should be engaged at all points throughout their journey, both online and offline. Loyalty programs, referral programs, customer feedback mechanisms, and social media engagement are all examples of such initiatives. By actively listening to customer feedback, addressing their concerns, and providing exceptional customer experiences, the company can build a loyal customer base that not only purchases its products, but also recommends it to others. This recommendation does not come without risk. Historical distributors may not want to invest in new functions within their organization. Setting up a customer success group takes time and resources. Some distributors may not see the value in this investment and choose to either continue as they have been operating or potentially shift to an alternate vehicle manufacturer. With many states and local regulations limiting an automobile manufacturer from selling direct to consumers, distributors may be a major impediment to the execution of this recommendation.
Third recommendation that we're going to discuss is the concept of product differentiation and its significance in gaining competitive advantage and increasing market share. The key to differentiation lies in understanding customer needs and preferences. By doing so, Ford can develop unique features, superior quality, or innovative solutions that set their products apart from competitors. To gather valuable insights, they should invest in market research, customer surveys, and feedback gathering. These methods will help Ford identify areas of product enhancements and ensure they meet their customer demands. By providing compelling value propositions and addressing customer needs, Ford can attract new customers and retain existing ones, ultimately driving Ford's success in the market. As far as implementation goes, first and foremost, conducting extensive market research is essential. This research will give Ford insight into customer needs, preferences, and pain points, which will guide development of their unique features and improved quality or solutions. To bring these enhancements to fruition, Ford should allocate resources to research and development. Additionally, it's crucial to involve cross-functional teams such as marketing, design, engineering, and other relevant departments. This collaboration ensures that the product development process aligns with Ford's differentiation strategy. Discussing key performance indicators as indicated by the balanced scorecard talked about earlier, we would propose using a new product differentiation score as a KPI. This score would measure how the products are perceived in terms of differentiations from competitors. To calculate the score, we'd leverage customer surveys, market research, or focus groups. Ford should consider variables such as distinct features, quality, and perceived value. By measuring and monitoring this KPI on a regular basis, Ford can track progress of their improved product differentiation. It will help them determine whether or not customers perceive the products as distinct from other competitors, and as well as indicating the successful implementation of their recommendations. Now let's move on to a couple challenges that are associated with our recommendation. One potential issue is insufficient research and understanding of what the customers actually want. To avoid this, Ford must conduct thorough market research and actively seek direct customer feedback. These efforts will ensure that product enhancements are actually aligned with what the customer wants. Another challenge that may be faced is effectively communicating and promoting these differentiated products to the audience. To mitigate this challenge, we would need to develop a strong marketing communication strategy. This strategy should emphasize the unique value proposition and leverage appropriate channels to engage customers with the message. By doing so, we can ensure that the target audience understands and appreciates these distinct features that are being promoted, ultimately leading to a successful implementation of Ford's new product differentiation strategy.
These recommendations are all centered on returning the focus to customer experience. Competition in the automotive industry is significant, but in a time when electric vehicles have become a black hole for capital and strategy, there are incredible opportunities. By being strategic with their marketing, Ford can expand their market reach. In creating a customer success team, they can foster better customer relationships and create better brand loyalty. And in focusing on customer needs in their product development, they can differentiate the Ford brand in a saturated market. In returning to a customer-centric approach, Ford can continue to pursue innovation in electric vehicles and continue to pursue the other 95% of the vehicle market.